customer walks into a luxury restaurant, but a waitress treats him with disdain because of his appearance. What she doesn't know is she has just insulted the wrong man. The restaurant, Le Mistral, was renowned across the city as one of the most exclusive dining establishments. Located in the heart of the financial district, its main hall radiated opulence. Crystal chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, tables draped in immaculate white linen, and a staff of waiters moving with near-choreographed precision. The clientele was equally select. Business executives closing deals, celebrities enjoying private dinners, and occasionally, politicians seeking a discreet yet sophisticated environment. Brenda, one of the most experienced waitresses, had been working there for 8 years. While many envied her position, Brenda felt a mix of pride and exhaustion accompanying her every shift. She had mastered the art of anticipating her customers' needs, but had also developed a critical gaze over the years, one that didn't always serve her well. There was something in her demeanor, subtle gestures unnoticed by most, that betrayed her tendency to judge people by their appearance before offering them the courtesy they deserved. That night, the restaurant was bustling. A symphony of refined voices and clinking cutlery filled the air. Brenda, her hair neatly tied back and her apron perfectly in place, moved between tables with mechanical precision. But everything changed when an African-American man walked through the restaurant's grand entrance. He wore a perfectly tailored dark suit with a discreet tie that exuded sophistication. His leather shoes gleamed as brightly as the chandeliers above. Despite his impeccable appearance, something about him rubbed Brenda the wrong way, though she couldn't quite put her finger on it. Perhaps it was years of quietly nurtured prejudice, or perhaps, in her view, he didn't fit the profile of the clientele she expected at a place like Le Mistral. From the moment she saw him, Brenda felt a twinge of unease. The man was escorted by the host to one of the most prominent tables in the dining hall, near the large windows offering a panoramic view of the illuminated cityscape. Brenda, assigned to that section, couldn't help but grimace, a fleeting expression that quickly transformed into a forced smile as she approached. Holding a menu in her hand, her demeanor betrayed her lack of enthusiasm. "Good evening, sir. Are you sure you have a reservation?" Brenda asked, her tense smile accompanied by an appraising glance from head to toe. The man looked up, visibly puzzled by her tone. Calmly, he slid a golden membership card across the table. In the exclusive world of Le Mistral, that card was a passport to the best services and the most coveted reservations. But Brenda barely paid it any attention. Her mind had already made an unfair judgment. "Oh, very well. I suppose I'll take your order shortly," she said with barely disguised disdain, turning away before the man could even open the menu. The man watched her walk away hastily. Her aloof attitude and brusque tone were evident to him, but instead of reacting immediately, he chose to remain calm. Over the years, he had learned that first impressions rarely told the full story of a person, though tonight Brenda seemed determined to prove otherwise. When she returned with a glass of water, she placed it on the table with an almost dismissive gesture. The man thanked her politely and, with a calm smile, said, "I'd like to see the wine list, please." Brenda frowned, as if the request inconvenienced her. "Are you sure you want the wine list?" she asked, emphasizing her words with a hint of disdain. "We have more accessible options if you prefer." The man remained silent for a moment, evaluating her tone. Choosing not to confront her directly, his smile faded. It was clear Brenda wasn't just judging him, but assuming he couldn't afford the restaurant's high prices. The tension between them was palpable, though the waitress seemed oblivious to it. As the evening progressed, Brenda continued to treat the man discourteously, delaying his orders, failing to explain the menu's specialties, and barely making eye contact. Other staff members and a few diners began to notice her behavior. Discreet murmurs spread among the tables, and one of the managers, observing from the back of the hall, decided to step in. The pivotal moment came at the end of the meal. When the man asked for the bill, Brenda approached with a hint of satisfaction, as if confident she had succeeded in making him feel unwelcome. However, what happened next caught her completely off guard. "Excuse me, miss," the man said, holding the bill in his hand. "Could you call the manager? I'd like to discuss something before I leave." Brenda turned pale. Her instincts told her something was wrong, but she reluctantly complied. Moments later, the manager, a middle-aged man with a professional demeanor, appeared at the table with a courteous smile. "Is there a problem, sir?" he asked, leaning slightly forward. The man stood, extended his hand for a handshake, and in a calm but firm voice said, "I have no issue with the restaurant, but I do have a problem with the attitude of your employee. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Malcolm Harris, owner of Harris Enterprises. You may have heard of me, as my company financed this restaurant's renovation 2 years ago." A stunned silence fell over the hall. Brenda felt the ground crumble beneath her. Her eyes widened as the realization hit her like a thunderbolt. The man she had treated so disdainfully wasn't just an important customer. He was one of the restaurant's primary investors. The manager, visibly distressed, hurried to apologize. "Mr. Harris, I had no idea. I assure you this does not reflect our standards." Malcolm raised a hand to stop him. "I'm not here to cause a scene, but let me make something clear. No one, absolutely no one, should be treated the way this waitress treated me tonight. It doesn't matter how someone looks or where they come from. This restaurant represents more than luxury. It represents respect, and tonight, that was absent." Turning to Brenda, who stood frozen in place, Malcolm added, "I hope this experience teaches you something. The next customer you serve might not own the place, but that shouldn't make any difference." The manager, acutely aware of the gravity of the situation, made an immediate decision. "Brenda, I need you to hand over your apron. Your behavior cannot be tolerated here." With trembling hands, Brenda obeyed silently, knowing she had lost far more than just a job. As she walked out of the restaurant, the diners' gazes following her, Malcolm turned to the manager and said, "Make the necessary adjustments to your team. The next time I return, I expect to see a staff that treats everyone with the dignity they deserve." Malcolm exited the restaurant with the same calm demeanor with which he had entered, leaving an indelible lesson etched into the walls of Le Mistral. Thank you for staying until the end. If this story made you reflect, don't miss the next one I recommend here. It's another important perspective on understanding and changing racism. Click now, and let's keep the conversation going.